Hello and welcome to the Gers TV. My name is Si Leslie.
I'm Lewis. How are you, Si?
Aye, all good, mate. All good. I've been a great-faced bastard all week until the game on Sunday.
Not like you.
And to be fair, they've answered my complaints and my moans, and a great performance from Rangers. And there's a feel-good factor back at Ibrox.
Aye, well, fantastic result on Sunday. I think great resilience as well from the squad. Went behind twice and we came back for it. 1-4-2, fantastic from obviously Chermiti as well, scoring a hat-trick, something that we've not seen from him. So
I think the whole Scottish football was crazy at the weekend, to be fair.
Aye.
But Ibrox was electric. The fans reacted to the club wanted a reaction. The fans gave them it. The players reacted. Hearts gave us a good game, to be fair. Hearts played really well. They're just not strong enough in terms of their squad. They're not strong enough to compete with Rangers, I don't think. Hopefully I'm not speaking too early with that. And that we needed to put a marker down, and boy did we put that marker down.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I agree with you there when you say the Hearts squad isn't strong enough to compete with Rangers, because I think it is. I think once they get Bellingham back, I think Bellingham already back face suspension. But Cammy Devlin, who's out for another 2 weeks, and so is Lawrence Shankland.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're back in early training for Hearts, but see when they get back into the squad for Hearts, they're a very strong team.
But that's my point. They're no back, so they're not strong enough. Rangers have got a stronger pool.
No wonder Rangers were favourites for the game on Sunday, with obviously they're on the freaking calibre of players that was out for Hearts.
People have said that Hearts won't be top of the league at this point in the year, and they are in the season. So you know what I mean. You've got to give them credit, but I think that it's been hard. They've lost some really good players, and they still came to Ibrox and gave us a good game. Mm-hmm. And I thought I've got to say, I thought it was a really exciting game. It's a frustrating game because we lost two. We created two mistakes. It was our own fault. But these things happen in football. Fernandes has been outstanding all season, but to be fair, he made an arse of it, and I think we should have been watching. We should have been watching. The defence should have been. Sorry, I'm reading that comment. It came in at the same time. We should have been concentrating on defence, but we didn't. What we done was we played the ball out straight to them, and a great move and a great finish, and they go 1-0 up. So it's a problem. But there was problems in the game, but at the same time, our reaction was fantastic.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. Like the resilience for the squad to come back for behind twice in the game as well. Obviously 2 errors. Obviously the first goal, mainly Fernandes' fault, but also I think Raskin's partly to blame for it.
Wasn't he watching?
I think from a young boy, you're told never turn your back on the ball.
Aye.
That's the main thing for me.
And
back on the ball.
Raskin's meant to be the leader, so you're right there. He should have been. It's one of the ones you don't know if he shouted and he's not listened or what. I'm not really sure of that, but I would have to say it was 2 silly goals we gave away, but 2 good finishes still. The 2 finishes for Hearts were really good.
Fantastic goals, absolutely. The first goal, the boy Mark Leonard actually came through our academy, then he went to Brighton, and I think he was at Northampton on loan. He's only just joined Hearts there. He was a bit of an emergency sign, but a panic buy. But I think his debut was against Celtic at Tynecastle. He played well and obviously scored a good goal yesterday as well. Great finish, but obviously just those individual errors. Then the second goal, I don't know how John Souttar's losing a header to a guy who's 5'8", 5'9".
I thought the keeper was out of position as well. But listen, it was a great header, and Rangers came back twice, and then a third time we take the lead for the fight. We take the lead finally, and then we get the 4th goal. Shermiti gets a hat-trick. Every goal he scored was good. Gassama, the much maligned Gassama comes on, has a great game. He's not on long, but what a move he makes. Nothing to complain about whatsoever. Unfortunately, we never won last week, or we'd be sitting top of the league now. But it's getting better every week at Ibrox.
Aye, when you were talking about Gassama there, I mean, we certainly took advantage of the fact that Hearts were tired, because I thought Sunday was a great advert for Scottish football. Both teams were going right at it. That's what I like to see. No team was sitting back. Both teams went right for each other, and that's what I like to see. See when two teams are going for each other and you come out on top, that's the best game of football. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see.
It was intense stuff. It was frustrating watching it, but if you're a neutral or when you win the game, it's good to watch it back.
Also, I seen that Rangers put out a stat that was the highest attendance at Ibrox since, I believe, was it John Gregg's testimonial?
Is that right?
I think so, aye. In the modern
that.
day area, that's the highest attendance at Ibrox. I mean, obviously, you work getting done in the Copeland and stuff like that at the beginning of
that's
last
interesting.
season,
And other interesting fact was what formation Rangers played, because I've heard people saying 4-4-2, and then I've heard 4. What was the other formation? 4-2. Well, I can't remember. I'm not a big one for formations, but they played 2 up front, but they seem to be changing. I think it was at one point they played 4-2-2. 4-2-2-2.
4-2-2-2. That's just a 4-4-2 in it.
Aye, but the way they played it was because the midfield was strange when you watch the game. I've got a video. I'm going to do a wee video tomorrow, because Rangers they changed their tactics for defending corners and for attacking them. And at some points their corners were rotten, I thought. But when we got into the flow of things, the new corners that they've been practicing certainly work a treat.
Aye. Well, I think what, pardon my language, but I think what fucked the game for Hearts was at half time, Derek McInnes, I think, made 2 unnecessary changes. He brought in 2 subs and he completely changed it. He changed it to, I believe, a 5-3-2.
That benefited us.
Of course it benefited us, but
that might have been because of their player. I don't know who it was, but their player, if I remember, came off with looked like a shoulder injury.
Aye, it was Oisin McEntee. McEntee.
Maybe that was the reason they changed it, but that changed the game from their point of view. They were less of a threat, and Rangers were more of a threat with our subs.
A wee comment here from loyal fan of the Gers TV, also Hearts supporter, Shankland T9 on YouTube there. I've heard Lauren Shankland and Cammy Devlin back, reckon we'd have won. My opinion, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe, possibly. I mean, Hearts are a much stronger team. I mean, Cammy Devlin's basically Hearts is Raskin.
It's all saying if you're anti boys, they weren't playing, and it's all about having a squad. And we've eventually got a stronger squad. That I could counter argue with that, because I think it's a great point. But I could counter argue that and say if Barron was playing, we might have never went behind. Do you know what I mean? We might have had a stronger defence. It's all ifs and buts. What I will say is that's the strongest I've ever seen Hearts this season's the strongest I've ever seen them. And I remember when they went all the way to the last game of the season. I will not go into that and break everybody's hearts and depress them. But in the 80s, I think that was 88, 89. I can't remember. I think it was 89. They got beat off Dundee in the last game. So that I think this team's stronger than that. But I must say this: the last half hour against Hearts is the best football I've seen Rangers playing. I did question Scott Olsen a couple of weeks ago, saying I didn't feel as if he was anywhere near match fitness. But that cross he done to Shermiti for the third goal, the header was outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
I think it was a well worked goal, to be honest. I mean, the header for Shermiti was a proper striker's goal. It's a fantastic header. He does well to get up for it. Obviously, he's a big lad, but it's still a big leap for him, and it's a fantastic header. It's powerful as well. I mean, I don't think many keepers are stopping that. And as you said, it's a fantastic ball for Scott Wilson. It
was fantastic. Linda, can we quickly go back to comments on it? It's just on it because quite a few people are comments in case we missed it. I know.
Happy to you, Linda.
That's just in case there's a big rant out there. I can see. Right, go there, Lewis. That's your job tonight.
Aye, all right. Just that comment there, Joel Jackson.
Aye, so Joe was in. Sorry, Joe. I noticed you were in the Bristol. I didn't get a chance to come over. Lexi was over as well, and a few of the regulars for the Limavady Rangers. I'll try and get in. I said to you, I'll try and get in for the 11th night. I'll try and bill for the 12 celebrations. It might be the 10th this year. I'm over, with the 12th being a Sunday. But I'll try and certainly get back into the Limavady Rangers and get CEs. But the next time you're in Duke Street, give me a shout and I'll pop over. We'll get a wee swally.
Aye.
Ryan, what's Ryan saying?
What's Ryan saying? I think he's asking if I've had a haircut. I had a haircut a couple of weeks ago. What are you trying to say, Ryan? Is it Is it bad?
It is.
I think it's a bit.
Tintin.
We need to win this game on Sunday. I mean, every game from now on is a massive game.
Hi Stephen, long time no see, mate. And thank you very much for the help you've done with the Gers TV studio. A good point. Well, I'll fire that back at you, Stephen. We need to win the game on Sunday, and we need to score goals, as many goals as possible, because this team has got goals in them. If Shermiti can start scoring goals with that service from Olsen, we've got a great chance of outscoring everyone else in the league, and it might come down. I keep saying it might come down to goal difference.
Aye, well, with Shermiti, he knows where the net is, but he's just not finding it in many games. That's it. But it's the two biggest games that we've played this season, arguably. Celtic away at Parkhead and Hearts just there at home. He scored 5 goals in the 2 games. I mean, he's certainly proven to be a big game player. But what you're finding with Shermiti is, see when he's got time in the ball and he's got time to think about it, he's not putting them away. He's struggling. He's thinking too hard about it. He's a bit like Dessers in that way.
Well, there's a good argument for him here, right, that we spoke about. He had Naderi playing beside him, so he had 2 up front. He's normally playing alone. And he had fantastic service from Olsen. So maybe he's just been needing a wee bit more help. I don't know what the Dug's doing tonight. The Dug's decided to take a bottle. Shermiti's getting better service. I was going to argue about there. My mate Scott White's made a comment here. It was a great game. Didn't think we were ever going to get beat. Aye, good point. There was a total different atmosphere at Ibrox. Not just that, Scott. I was at Scott's in a scooter club. I was on a scooter yesterday, and the day I was passing Ibrox twice, and everybody, I've got the Rangers scooter out for this week, and the other one's no MOT'd, and everybody's peeping the horn and waving and all that. There's a real feel good factor with the Rangers supporting now. People are starting to quietly believe this could be our season, and who would have thought that a few months ago?
I know you're saying quietly believe. I don't think many folk are actually being very quiet about it. I'm not getting too ahead of myself.
Linda's getting around. Don't forget the comments for YouTube. She was away getting the dog. The dog was trying to fight with a water bottle.
I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself and say we're going to win the league, because it's still very, very tight between the Hearts, Rangers and Celtic right now.
I'm at the stage now that if Rangers win the next 3 games, I would be gutted if we didn't win it. I think the next 3 league games, no the cup game. However, if we win it, if we should win on Sunday. If we want to win the league, we've got to beat teams like Livingston.
What is our next 3 league games? We've got Celtic at home. Is it St Mirren away? Then is it Aberdeen at home? I think it is. I know we play Aberdeen at home. It's like 5:30, 1:45 kickoff.
The big one for me is get as many goals as we can against Livingston. All right, treat them with respect, but get them and hump them. Get as many goals as we can get the goal difference up,
respect them, but hump them.
And then if we can do the double header against Celtic, that feel good factor would be enough to carry us on to win the league. I think. I don't think many people would disagree with that.
I just think there was 2 gutting things about Sunday. One was the fact that we could have been top of the league if we seen a result against Motherwell.
I don't start that again. I'm not able to sleep all week.
I know you've been in a absolute rotary mood in the last few days, but hey, it's back now.
It's back on.
But the other thing is, obviously, Celtic getting a late winner at Kilmarnock. I think if they had seen a draw or even end up getting beat, there would have been even more of a buzz around Ibrox. I think it would have been an even better atmosphere. Obviously, from what I heard, the atmosphere was great.
It was fantastic.
I couldn't make it, I was working, but
the atmosphere was fantastic.
The atmosphere in the pub was fantastic as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Something that I've not seen in a while.
The players and the manager, they're all buying into this. The manager's running down to the fans, the club. There's other clubs that don't like their ultras. We won't mention who they are. We don't really care about them. And Rangers are putting videos out with the Union Bears doing the bouncy. That's the difference. This is about everybody sticking together for this. Making Ibrox a cauldron for the next couple of weeks. Getting everybody on the same boat and banging the goals in. Because one of our problems this season was goal scoring up front. And now we look as if we can do that. We can score goals for defence. We know that. And another thing, our team are not afraid to shoot. All that moaning I've done all season about they don't want to shoot the extra touch. They never done that. The last half hour, they were queuing up to shoot. Reminded me of my BB days.
Again. But you know what, I agree with you. I mean, as you've said, that's constantly passing about the box, passing about outside the box, trying to find that wee space, trying to just pass it into the net. But as you said, we've only done that. We're creating every opportunity, and as you said, for the last half an hour, I think the goal that obviously began for Gassama running for his own half, a fantastic goal, fantastic run for Gassama.
Oh, it was outstanding.
But see, a goal like that doesn't happen in the first half. The only reason that goal actually happened. I say the only reason, but the main reason that goal actually happened is because the Hearts were so tired.
That was the point I was making earlier on about they've not got the strength. Mm-hmm. They've got a great team. McInnes has done a great job. They haven't got the strength. Rangers have got more power with the signings that we've made and the players coming back. A comment I want to talk about quickly, and I'm not trying to be biased on this. I haven't watched it again. I've been too busy. The Scott Olsen booking, was that a booking? Let's be honest about it. I'm in the main stand. I'm at the other end of the ground. I thought it was a penalty, but I haven't seen it again, so I've got no idea. But the referee was quite quick to say it, wasn't he?
I think the referee was right. I think it was a dive.
I never saw many complaints for the players. That's why I think.
The clip that I'd seen, it didn't look like there was any contact. Some folk are arguing that there was contact, slight contact, but just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a penalty at the same time, though.
No, you're right. But that would have been interesting, because that would have been a game changer at that point in the game. But Betty's saying the atmosphere was like Europe all over again, and every game now needs to be like Europe. We're going to find out soon what the cup allocation is going to be like for the Old Firm game, but it doesn't matter how many tickets and how many away fans are in the ground. What matters is that all the stands that have got Rangers supporters in it are bouncing, and everybody was up for it from start to the end. And all credit to Rangers. We don't see much credit from the media, so I'll do this for them. All credit for the Armed Forces display. Outstanding, having the pipe band on, Scotland's premier club. The Scottish Lion on my jersey, in the old days on my badge, having the pipe band on the park, the pipe band going around the club in the NEH arena, and having the Army and the Navy.
I think it's fantastic.
All over the ground. And then doing the abseiling. Don't forget that. The abseiling as well, to bring the match ball on. A lot of other clubs do it, and a lot of respect for them, but nobody does it better than Rangers Football Club for the Armed Forces.
Pride of Britain, mate. That's it. I think I always like to see us upholding our traditions. I like to see that, especially at Ibrox. I mean, Rangers are, bigging it up, and
And I think it's the right decision. They picked Hearts a few times to do that. I'm not trying to have a loving, but at least Hearts and maybe Motherwell, Kilmarnock. There's a few teams that would respect it, and a few teams that wouldn't. And I think it's the right thing to do, to have it when it's going to be an opposition that respects it. But all credit to the away support for respecting the Armed Forces. But what a display again!
Aye. But one thing I do want to come on to, but nothing to do with the Armed Forces display, but the fact that there was a full ground until 90 minutes, that's something that we've not seen in a long while.
It was
a long while. That's exactly what you want to see. None of this Subway loyal leaving at the 65th, 70th minute.
I think the kick-off time kind of helped as well, because people were
with all due respect,
it's a different time on a Sunday night to leave. People weren't sure, is there any point in leaving early?
Because I believe the Subway shuts early now.
No, I think they stayed open late for that game, as far as I know. But anyway, they stayed. All credit, we have to give credit when due. A quick comment for Alex Kelly here. He said that he's heard that Celtic will get 8,500 agreed for the Old Firm Cup tie.
I think is that the whole Broom?
That's the Broom one. Oh, it's just short of the Broom. I think the whole Broom one's 9. I think that's not getting the corner then.
But the Broom one's 7.5. I think.
But they're still going to segregate it as well.
Aye.
So maybe it is a corner. I don't know, but it's an interesting point. I think that'll be announced in the next couple of days.
Well, there's been a lot of conversation about it online. Should they get the whole Broom one? Should they not get it at all? Should they get the wee corner? Should they get the European allocation that they've had the last couple of times? I don't care. I don't care what they get. As long as Rangers do the business in the park, I don't care how many fans they've got there. I couldn't care less.
I'd be giving fuck all, to be honest, but you can't do that.
Aye. But you know what? Doesn't matter how many fans they've got there.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. The big thing is, is, and I've spoken about this for a while, was consistency. We've only got one game a week. Celtic's got the European games, right? Hearts will only get one, so the benefits Hearts and Rangers will have one game in terms of fitness. I've had this argument with somebody kind of made it the weekend there. Our players should be fit to play all the games now. You shouldn't be having to drop anybody, with the exception maybe of Sterling. Sterling even. He's never going to be 100% fit just with injuries he's carried, but you've got plenty of players that can cover that, and Tavernier is a great example of that. But in general, I won't be changing. If it was me, I wouldn't be changing that team. Consistency, and the more consistent we are, the better they'll get, because guys like Scott Wilson are putting great balls in, but the players have to get used to how good those crosses are. After the dung that we watched at the start of the season, when there was no crosses going into the box, now we're going forward in numbers.
I know. Well, as you're saying there, Dujon Sterling will never be 100% fit, but I think Dujon Sterling's a player that you keep for the Old Firm game because he's got the heart and he's shown that. I mean,
he's a great character.
Put in a fantastic display at Parkhead, and I think pretty much every Old Firm that he's played in it, he's put in a top 10.
That's a good point.
Top 100% performance.
There's stats coming in tonight.
Alex Kelly, a good fan of the channel, good friend of the channel even. Last 3 games at Ibrox, Rangers have scored 5, 8 and 4, 17 goals. Under Russell Martin, our support was complaining about lack of goals and creativity. The new signings have made a huge impact, and they absolutely have. All 4, I think, have been impressive. Obviously, Naderi, I mean, I think I actually thought he scored the first goal, but it seemed to be an own goal from Steinwender.
I would have. I mean, you probably want to give the boy the goal, but it probably is an own goal. But it was I meant to say, by the way, it was a great save for the goalkeeper. The first one, see when you see it. It goes 3 times.
I think the second one was even better. I thought the second save was even better.
His ability for to get that was fantastic, but there's no way he's going to get the third one.
The boy, as you were saying in goal, Shawolo, he's a fantastic shot stopper, but I think he lacks in the distribution. I agree
with that. But I know, great save, and we got the goal. We got the goal out anyway. But just to come back on what you're saying there, guys, and gals, Romans is going to be outstanding for Rangers. I'm quite happy to make this prediction just now. That guy looks comfortable on the ball. He looks comfortable going up front. He's a great challenger. He's big. He's strong. Wouldn't mind Roman. There's a comment for him. Aye. Well, do you know what? Wouldn't be a bad move, but I think Romans has got the ability to be a top class Rangers left back, and that just sealed it. That could just seal the defences. When we've also got what's his name, Cornelius to come back, so we've got another bit of strength in the defence. But aye, Romans, just to go back on that, what ability that guy's got up the park, down the park, and his positioning is good. He looks to me like the real deal.
Another player I think out of all the 4 January incomings, I think the one that's going most under the radar is the boy Chikwani in the midfield. I think he's been fantastic since he came in. He's been an absolute revelation. I think maybe he's had 1 or 2. He reminds me of the guy in that. I forgot the film. They've been waiting to tell this all week because it's funny and it's not. I forgot to name it. The film for 10, 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Quentin Tarantino film. The black guy's getting a gun and he's shooting everybody. That's most of Tarantino's films, isn't it? Pulp Fiction. He looks like the guy in that. That's who he looks like. But so our midfield has completely changed in the dynamics in the last few weeks. As I said, it looked like 4-2-2-2 at the weekend there. So, and then getting into the 4-4-2, obviously changing that. But what that does is it gives you different options and it confuses the midfield in attack. In defence. I do like you seeing playing the 4-4-2 because it's simple, but it does the job. It does the business. I think the 4-4-2. I like it. We played it against Queen's Park. We scored 8 goals. We played it there against Hearts. We scored 4 goals against one of the best defences in the league. Also, we scored. Who was it? Who have we played in between and Ibrox? In between who? The games there? Aye. European game? No, we never played a European game. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so going forward, fantastic, especially at home. I think there's a lot of confidence with the fans getting back on side with the team, getting right behind them. Obviously, I think Danny Rowe, he made a bit of a blunder of it on Wednesday night, a massive game against Motherwell, but it's happening. Here's a good comment coming in with stats. I like the stats because it means that we don't need to do our homework if people do it for us, so we appreciate that. You want to go for it? For Scott Hammond here. When we were 13 points behind, we resigned ourselves for a rebuild for next season. Yes. That's very much on track with a bonus of a possible double this season. What a turnaround. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm buzzing for the end of the season because I think it's going to be a real title race. I don't know if it will come down to the last day, but it'll definitely come down to during the split. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to next season because see if this is the rebuild that we've had from the start of the season to now, how are we going to be next season? Aye, I mean we've got stronger as the weeks go on, and that's not the best that Rangers will play. Mark my words, see having that one game a week, having a break where we can get to the training ground and work on these set pieces and the runs and the tactics. I think there's a lot more to come from this Rangers team and the Rangers attack. See, Big Shermiti can go on a run now. The boy in the dairy, he showed that he can score goals. Scott Bolson his ability for crossing. Gassama's came out the blue and went and fought for his place, and then you've got Antman. Antman looks as if he's hungry to play. So our whole attack looks desperate to be involved in it. Miovski, I wouldn't write him off for coming on and making a case for himself as well. Oh, he scored against Queen's Park. I don't know. Did he? No, he scored one, didn't he? He didn't score two.
Scored one.
Scored the one. But
But it's looking good. Everything's looking positive. The club, the support, everything's looking as if we're all gelling together at the right time.
aye, I mean this is the perfect time. I think from now on, as I said, every game now.
Title winning form.
Every game now is a
soon.
big
Yeah.
game. I think from January onwards, from the end of January onwards, obviously the impact of these January signings have made so far is phenomenal. But I think they can get better. They will get better. And I agree with you there when you said that won't be the best that we play this season. I think we have played better this season.
I
There's
thought
been
the
games
last
where
half hour
have
we were
played
outstanding, but there was a
Of
hunger.
course.
I liked the fact that we were so hungry to score more goals. Again, going back to what we were saying about Wednesday, if we had the right team on a Wednesday, we would have probably had that hunger and went for it. But that's what we need to be doing, because if it does go down to goal difference, right now, we're right in amongst that. A couple of weeks ago, maybe about 8 weeks ago, we were out of sight in terms of goal, and we didn't look like catching up with the goal difference. Samuel Hill Jackson, that's it.
Aye, Jules, aye.
Was it Django? I can't remember, Alex, but it was one of the forms. It might have actually been watching that many forms. Anyway, Kilmarnock, it was the answer. Betty's saying, is that Brian Murphy? Sorry, I've not got it. It's only small
aye,
writing.
That's at the
Brian
the
Murphy's up.
midweek game.
That is Brian for Berlin. How you doing, mate?
Aye.
Kilmarnock was a midweek game.
That's it. You're right.
Mark Aitken.
You're right. Aye, two right, both. I think he said 56
Fucking
coming.
binoculars
coming
I'm needing, though.
56 coming by we other people. Absolutely. As I said, I'm not getting ahead of myself too much, because obviously there's three teams in the race, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fantastic for Scottish football. The fact that there's 3 teams in it and not just 2.
Well, I'm going to make a point here that I think most Rangers supporters agree with, but I'd like to think everyone in Scottish football would agree with it. If Rangers win this title, that would be the best title win since the Premier League came about. Maybe not the best title win ever, but the fact that Rangers were so far behind with a manager that the fans didn't like, none of the players looked comfortable, and Celtic and Hearts were completely out of reach. And if Rangers were to win this title, more so with the fact that Celtic have had the record of non-sending offs, and now the record of over an hour more than anybody else extra time being played to assist them in goal, getting their last minute goals. If Rangers were to come back and win this, that would be the greatest comeback ever in terms of a league title win. That's my view.
Aye. Well, I know what folk are saying about these last minute goals that Celtic are scoring, and the fact that they've had so much injury time. But at the end of the day, it's not about what they do. It's what we do.
They're still being assisted.
And Ryan made the comment in our group chat yesterday. Yeah, it's not what they do; it's what we do.
It is, but they're being assisted. There's no doubt about that. When you look at the difference in there's no way that they could play an hour more football than anybody else in the league.
Aye.
That wouldn't make sense, but that's what's happening. But
I'm not going to come out and dare John Brown say, "Oh, it's all corrupt, everything's corrupt," but there's certainly something going on there.
And that's why I'm saying that would be the best comeback of all if they can do it.
Aye.
There's another one.
Guys, you missed Celtic winning the Champions League in Ayrshire. Some achievement, by the way. World beaters again. No, but you know what I mean? Fair play. Coming back for 2-0 down to win the game.
It would be interesting. I don't know. I haven't been watching the news, but their new player jumped into the crowd, so I would expect he'll be suspended for that.
Nah.
If they're going to go with the rules, you can't jump into the crowd. You're not allowed to do it.
It's a booking, but it's not suspension.
No, surely you can't jump into the crowd. It's not allowed.
Nah, it's
against the laws of the game.
It's a booking offence. That's it.
I'd be very surprised if that was a booking offence. Taking your jersey off and things like that's a booking offence. Jumping into the crowd, you're not allowed to do. And I wouldn't think that you look at some of the things that Rangers have been penalised for early years.
I know. I certainly see your point. And should it be a suspension?
Well,
possibly.
I don't really care, but what I'm saying is there's no consistency in Scottish football. You watch if Rangers player jumps into the crowd and you see if he's not going to be at least sent off. I tell you, it wouldn't happen.
Aye. We come in here for Betty. Motherwell could be in the running for third place. Aye, well, I don't think so. A lot of folk are saying it's a 4-horse race. I don't quite think it's a 4-horse race.
A good argument for it, though, as I just heard this before I came in.
Of course it is.
Aye, as Motherwell have only lost 1 goal at home in 10.
Aye.
So
that was against us.
That's some form, to be fair.
Aye. No, Motherwell have been very impressive, and you know they are actually only 10 points behind Hearts. So you could make an argument that they're still in it. I don't think they are, but
I just hope.
I think they're certainly in a race for third place.
Aye,
I think they deserve it.
You have to give credit to their manager. He's came from relatively nowhere, and his way of managing a football team. Let's say he's doing some different tactics, and he's not afraid to get it wrong. and he's getting it right. So all credit to him. And by the way, the actual football that they play is outstanding.
That's
I've
what
got
I was
to say
about to
that.
come on. I think it's been an absolute revelation to Scottish football. Seeing Motherwell playing the football that they're playing right now is it's unseen before. You've never seen Motherwell playing such nice, attractive
It's been really
football.
good to watch. Mark Aitken's making a point here as well. I want to talk about this. So Hearts playing Saturday, is that right? Hearts at
I
home.
believe so. I don't know who Hearts are at home against.
Something tells me Dundee, but I could be wrong.
I was talking to it was actually a guy who was drinking in the pub, watching the game on Sunday, who's a Hearts supporter. Actually, he used to teach me physics at school. I was talking to him, he told me who Hearts are playing this weekend. I can't mind for the life of me. Celtic versus Hibs, same kick-off time on Sunday, keep an eye on it.
Aye.
Well, I think it will certainly be a tough game for them, and I think after...
But another great weekend of football, that looks
after
like.
the big run of away games, 4 away games, they've also got Motherwell at home, which will be a tough game for them. Yellow card for first
Maybe
offence.
is it? If that's the case,
I thought that. I did think it was. Don't get me wrong. I see your point and why it should be.
Aye,
I mean, as you said, I'm not
we
caring.
move on for it anyway. I've said my opinion on it. You shouldn't be jumping into the crowd. Any football player shouldn't be doing it.
Motherwell will decide when the league games. Motherwell will decide where the league goes. Mark my words. I need a line of your specs.
There'll certainly be. Well, something that's going to be interesting is get Linda to make it bigger. There's a wee bit of both.
I can see it fine. No, I was just.
The split will thing. The split will dictate as well. Because Rangers are going to have it really hard at the split. We're going to be at Parkhead, Tynecastle, and possibly Fir Park. No, let me think of that.
Fir Park and Easter Road, but we have already been there twice this season, so I'm not quite sure.
So it's going to be hard. So what we need to do is before that, we need to try and get a few. We need to try and get. If we can get ahead of Hearts before the split, and all due respect to Hearts, I think then that if we go ahead of Hearts during the split, before the split, then I think they would be a lot more comfortable getting into those games, and I would be confident of us coming out on top of the league. But there's a lot of football to be played in between then, 2 Old Firm games and the game on Sunday.
Well, I seen somebody come out and make a point. I can't mind for the life of me, but I'm just saying this so that nobody thinks I'm passing it off as my own point. But I seen a point made that if Rangers aren't top of the league before by the end of the first stage of the league, we won't win the league. Which is a fair point, because in the split we've got to go to Parkhead, we've got to go to Tynecastle, and I think we've got another away game as well. I think it is 3 away and 2 at home. We'll play.
We're better Parkhead and won 3-1.
But it'll still be a tough game. It's not going to be an easy game.
But I wouldn't really
no one's an easy game, and form goes out the window, so it doesn't really matter. Celtic could lose every game from now on. We could win every game from now on. It's still going to be a tough game.
A big thing that's going to affect the season is it 5 games Celtic's got away from home in a row?
4. I thought it was 5. I thought they were playing Hibs away.
But they've got a European game this week, right? So the European game and then the 4 games away from home, for any team, if they've been honest, would struggle with that. If Rangers can win a double header against them, then going to Parkhead could be a case. It could be a case of going there to minute less party. It could go that way, but it can go the other way. But remember, Celtic could win the 2 games.
Well, remember when we won the league at Parkhead 3-0? That could happen again.
Aye, 100%. And a big shout out to the ERSA, European Rangers Supporters Association. I'm going to put some more of the flyers out and that the adverts that's going about. But it's a big convention in Lanzarote this year in September, the last week in September. I think it's the Glasgow September weekend. I think that would be. And
is it the 26th of September? The actual.
I think so. They might correct me on it, or maybe 24th. But it's not about then anyway. But anyway, if you've no booked up for Lanzarote, get yourself booked up. Loads of Rangers legends coming along, and you just get to sit and bevy with them for 4 and 5 days. There's none of this no getting to meet the players and all that. They'll just sit and have a wee drink with you. You can even go swimming with Marvin Andrews. You name it, you can get it. So a wee shout out to Elsa.
Aye, good. Also a lot of good Rangers fans going over there. That'll be fantastic. That'll be a fantastic day. I believe you're going as well, Si.
Aye, I'm going. I'm going for you. Yeah. There's a comment there for Alex Kelly. You want to go with that one?
Aye, we comment here for Alex. Lads, what did you make of the Chris Boyd comments? Rangers need to be 4. Aye, that's who it was. It was Chris Boyd that made the point. I thought it was, but I didn't want to make an ass of myself and get it wrong. So, Rangers need to be 4 or 5 points clear by the split. They win the league. Don't fear the challenge. Embrace it. Absolutely embrace it, because we need to thrive under pressure, and we need to learn to thrive under pressure, because we failed.
I don't think he's right though. We need to be those points clear.
I don't think we need.
It would be very helpful. But sometimes Boyd says things to be controversial. The opposite of Sutton. This is Chris Boyd that's wanting Hearts to win the league, remember?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? So
I know, but I'm not going to come out and say anything on that. But
I want Rangers to win the league no matter
no,
what.
of course.
And any Rangers man, or so-called Rangers man, that comes out and says he wants Hearts to win the league, goes right down in my estimation. So I'll be rooting for the Sons of William.
No, of
all the way.
Of course we will. But to say that we need to be 4 or 5 points clear, I disagree with that, because that's then saying that we can afford to drop points at Tynecastle and Parkhead, and we can't.
It's a kind of negative thinking.
It is a negative thinking, but you know what? I do think it would be in the most favourable position if we're top of the league by the time the
24th to the 27th side. There you go.
Right.
And Lanzarote, Porta de Carmen. Porta de Carmen, there you go. Just jumped in for you. Porta de Carmen. Or there might be events at other parts of Lanzarote as well, but that's where the main area is. And you'll be able to come and get a wee swally with me as well. Bring your wallets. It's a good shout.
Aye, bring your wallets, because I won't buy around.
Never mind happy hour, it'll be happy minute.
Any
Where are
more
we?
comments coming in there, Linda?
Oh, that's I'm bossing you about now, Linda.
Keep
believing, Marvin Andrews.
Marvin Andrews, absolutely. We need to keep believing, because that's I was about to say that's all we have. It's not all, but we need that. We need the belief. We need that passion. We need that. We need to get behind the players. That's the thing.
A wee question, about where the convention is. It's in different bars. It's in the Bluebell as the opening night, but it'll be in different parts of the island, because there's a boat trip and things like that.
But what you were saying about the passion,
but there might be two. I get the gossip first.
but what you were saying about the passion, the fight there, what I like to see, and what a lot of other Rangers fans like to see, is that when I believe it was the first goal, the fourth goal. When the fourth goal went in, you seen Danny Rose running right down the touchline.
Aye.
The passion, that's what you need at Rangers. It's fantastic, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. So I've been doing it at Ibrox twice in the last 2 days, and there's a lot of people circulating the stadium, going to the club shop, the museum, the coffee shop and things like that. But everybody's in a great mood now. They're starting to really believe.
Aye, that's it. Keep believing again. We comment here from Mark Aitken. Premier Sports said can show 4 more games. 4 more games, I believe. Is that split or SPL? Premier Sports can show 4 more games. Well, Premier Sports seem to be showing all the later kicking.
The thing is, all the games that are coming up now are going to be good. There's not going to be many bad games, because there's going to be a relegation battle as well.
Aye, of course there is. I mean, I think it's between a few teams. I mean, you've got Dundee and Kilmarnock, but even St Mirren as well. As much as we all praise them for beating them in the League Cup final, but they've had a shocking season in the league. They've been shocking.
It's been crazy.
I think that the only reason that Stephen Robinson's still in a job is because he won the League Cup. And I know we were all saying that we would take him as our manager.
It's a hard job.
It's a hard job. A team like St Mirren, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not a poison chalice, but it's a very tough job.
To be fair, I think if you say to St Mirren fans you're going to get relegated and win the League Cup, they would probably.
I think they would.
A lot of them would take that, because they'll come back up probably next year.
Aye.
And they'll get memories. And if somebody asked me, St Mirren getting relegated and winning the League Cup against Celtic, I would take it. I know. So, and that evens it up for the fact that the Rangers player the Celtic player never gets sent off in the semi-final.
Mm-hmm.
Boys been sitting beside
Martin Sutton for too long.
Aye, the two of them are just basically banter merchants. They're just trying to get the views up. One says black, another says white.
Aye, well.
There's one there. Mark Aitken. Celtic said don't want Premier Sports TV deal. 24 games should Rangers do.
Should Rangers do the same? I'm not really caring.
I've spoken about this in the past, right, and I'm going to quickly speak about it. I think we're getting closer and closer to a time where Rangers and probably Celtic, maybe Hearts and Aberdeen could all do their own deals, and Rangers, and they should be looking at this, because the way that the club's social media is now, Rangers, if they were allowed to play a game on a Saturday afternoon, they've got the facilities to film their own games, and I think their support would love that. Imagine the games are on Saturdays, and if you want to watch the game, you just buy Rangers TV. Aye. That's the way I would see it. Get the Americans, get them thinking about that.
Aye.
Football should be on a Saturday.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. Are we coming here for Alex Haley? Andrew Kavanagh deserves huge credit, lads. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Owned his mistakes, hired Danny Rose, spent 12 million in January recruitment. Absolutely fantastic.
And he's met the fans. He's no shit himself. He's going amongst them at the bad
all the
teams.
Rangers events that have been at the new Edmondson House. There's a Rangers rally on the 20th of February for my birthday. I don't think he'll be there, but you'll probably find he's at that, or he's he's somewhere near that. I mean,
He's made
obviously-
himself available.
he's involved in Leeds, and he is obviously with the San Francisco Enterprise as well. But you see, Ibrox need enough week in, week out.
Well, I think they're slowly really buying into it, but the hotter it gets, I think the Rangers are really growing on them. So all credit. Listen, at the end of the day, they could have just left it. They could have took a gamble or no took a gamble in January, and they could have said, we're going to wait and give Danny Rowe a transfer budget in the summer, and we'll go for it next season. But they listen to the fans and they put their money where their mouth is, and it looks like it's a gamble well worth committing to. So all credit.
Aye. I mean, obviously they admitted that they got it wrong with Russell Martin. They came out and almost slaughtered them in a way, basically saying, like, we know we got it wrong. We know he wasn't good enough. They came out and admitted that, and Danny Rowe. Look, Danny Rowe was no one's first choice as Rangers manager. A lot of folk were either wanting either Gerrard or Muscat.
Listen, there was Walter Smith. When Walter Smith got the job, and I mean this with all due respect to Walter Smith, that anybody that's old enough will remember this will tell you I'm right. When Walter Smith was named, before he was named to take over for Souness, nobody expected him to get the job. And how wrong were we with that?
Mm-hmm. Nah, I know. Obviously, one of, if not our best manager in the club's history.
Aye, so it's not always a favourite that is the best choice.
Aye,
and Danny Rowe's putting a different element to the club. This is what I like: the German kind of element, the European element, and he's got a lot of people he can call favours on, and he's proven that. And by the way, his backroom staff, not just Danny Rowe, his backroom staff have been outstanding.
Aye, well, you're saying about Germans there, and it's a point that I wanted to make. It's not really anything to do with Rangers, but it's to do with just ticket pricing in general. You're seeing a lot of commercialisation in Britain for football, and ticket prices are going to be upwards of 30, 40, even £50 in some cases, depending on the game you're playing in European games. But over in Germany, right, Celtic played Stuttgart in the UEFA Cup, what's now the Europa League, a fair while ago, and my pal sent me this, right, the tickets were €16. And my pal was going away to Stuttgart and his ticket was $16.50. The Germans do it right. See if
done it right, aye.
See if the Germans had ticket pricing like the UK. If tickets over in Germany were 30, 40, €50, the Germans would not be having it.
Aye, they do it right. And there's been a campaign by all the different supporters about, is it 30s, 20s plenty, is it?
20s plenty.
20s plenty, right? Aye, and it's a good campaign because at the end of the day, football should be played on a Saturday, right? Unless there's a European tie during the week. Should be played on a Saturday. If you watch football from home, you shouldn't be treated better than the fans that pay. The guys that, I'm going to quote the old Jimmy Sanderson here, Radio Clyde in the 80s, bums on seats. We want bums on seats. We want guys that are going to go to football. And the guys that go to football want Saturday football. It should be a working class sport and people should be able to afford to get in.
Yes.
Whether the Americans will take that on board, I don't know. But the only way they could really realistically do that, I think, would be to make Ibrox bigger and then have more expensive seats. Something Ryan spoke about, we were at a corporate, me and Ryan, last week, and Ryan mentioned the fact of just having a corporate section where you maybe spend a grand extra on your season ticket. Or I think he meant, he'll correct me on this, but basically where you're just getting, before the game, you've got a 2-hour bar, and after the game, you just get him. Nothing involving meals or anything like that, just a bar in the stadium with your season ticket, and that would be an extra corporate that wouldn't be as dear as the big corporate sections, and then a cheaper area for the guys that just want to go with the family, go to the game and go home.
Aye, well, I mean, as you're saying, football's a working class sport. Rangers were built by 4 working class lads in a working class area in Govan. And obviously, probably 99% of the Rangers support all come from working class backgrounds. So it's a working class game. I almost said a working class man's game.
Just should be affordable. That's a big thing for me. It should be affordable. And when I say affordable for kids as well. Whether that'll ever happen again, I don't know. I don't know if it will. But the Americans are saying that they're interested in listening, and that's something that I think most people would be passionate about.
Yes.
Is how we attract the youth.
Aye, of course it is.
Well, an example of that, the Coleraine True Blues brought I think they bought about 30, 40 kids over at the weekend and done a big project with Rangers. Now, if you look at the English Premiership, the marketing they've got and the money that they've got, there's kids all over the world are running about with Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham, Spurs, Chelsea. They've all got the strips on. And it was hard. If Rangers went down to the bottom of Scottish football, it's hard to run a supporters club for places like Belfast, Coleraine, Londonderry, and all the towns in England. when all the kids are wanting to wear the big English Premiership jerseys. But here we are, we're all the way back. We've been to a European final and the kids are still interested and want to go. You need to keep finding a way to attract them. And that's one way, what they've done with the flag bearers, with the Korean True Blues and the other clubs that do it, the other supporters clubs that have been involved in it. And we need to keep that connection, but we also need to make it affordable.
Aye. That's it. Keeping things affordable for the fans, because at the end of the day, that's how you're going to sell out the ground every game. That was fantastic what we've seen there at the weekend, but that's what we want week in, week out. Now, see if boards or the SFA or whatever start to take the piss and start to charge the fans 40, 50, because ticket prices will end up going up to about 70 or 80 quid in the next 10 years or so. Ticket prices will go up to that.
I think
that's just ridiculous.
I think most fans would be happy if their season ticket was roughly the price it is now. But there was a genuine amount of kids' tickets that they could afford to go to the football with, and also agree with Armed Forces Days where they look after the troops and give them the 3 day out and give them the respect they deserve. And also, another thing we shouldn't forget with Rangers, they increased the match day experience for the disabled section, which was long overdue, but they've done it and they've done a great job.
Fantastic to see. I mean, fantastic. Obviously, the work that was done in the Copeland, the first time I'd actually sat in the Copeland, I was astonished. It was fantastic work that was done on it. Obviously, it was a bit shit that we had to play our first good few games at Hampden, but would you say it was worth it to get that disabled section built?
Oh, aye, I've just laughed at the Jimmy Sanderson comments. Aye, no, I've got a wee pal that sits in it, wee Matthew, and they said it's outstanding. It's getting them a wee bit of comfort, and at the same time, there's still some of the disabled fans are down at the front there, but they were getting soaking wet, and it's modernising. If you want to modernise Ibrox, you need to modernise it for everyone, and that's what I'm saying about. If you're modernising it for everyone, you should be able to get a bevy at the football, right? You should be able to go and get a couple of pints at the game, and you should be able to afford to go to the game. You should be able to afford to take your kids. Disabled fans looked after, and Rangers are addressing these things slowly, but the bigger the club gets and the more input for Americans, let's not forget that. That's what I'm saying.
Aye. Anyways, what are we looking at time-wise?
Can you see? Linda, what time, mate?
48.
Aye, another wee 10 minutes or so.
Aye. I thought that was my age. I thought that was my age here.
Aye, you wish.
The body of a 48-year-old.
Aye, all right.
Mark's just updating us with the cup ties at the Cup Tie Europa League. I think I'm not really sure what that message means. But aye, there's plenty of messages. Guys, thank you very much for all the comments coming in. It's been outstanding to read them all.
Aye, been brilliant tonight, guys. Brilliant.
I did mean to see that we got a message from StreamYard tonight just before we went live saying that there's an issue with Twitter, or X, as a young team call it, and it might not have streamed on Twitter tonight. It was saying there might be an issue and you need to manually do it. I don't work Twitter that well, so we didn't manually do it, so I don't know if it went on. So it might only be on YouTube and Facebook tonight. I'm not sure how that went. I'll tell you in the corner up there, but I'm not really sure.
Aye, but okay.
This guy's still talking. It's on Twitter, aye, good, it's came on anyway.
Brilliant. But aye, roughly 10 minutes to go, 10-15 minutes. I think we'll spend that talking a wee bit about the Livingston game. Obviously, there's some Champions League football on the night, guys, so if you want to go away and watch that at 8 o'clock, of course, that's when we're aiming to finish up. So,
aye, we comment there just because it reminds me of my dad. My dad was at the concert. Frank Sinatra at Ibrox. He came down to the front and serenaded the disabled section. Absolute class.
Brilliant.
That was Frank Sinatra's second ever concert before he passed away. He done one in Europe, but it was the biggest concert he'd done before he died. Ibrox Stadium, the only place to be. It was 1990, the year of Glasgow City of Culture. And I remember I wasn't at it, but his opening line, one for you, John, here, his opening line when he came on was, "I'm the American Andy Stewart." That was a bad trivia for you. John, how you doing, mate? You back from Vietnam? This is comment saying.
Comment here for John. My lads never got a choice. They were born into the Rangers family, as was my grandson, and as will it be for my granddaughter when she arrives. We are chosen.
But John's a millionaire. He can afford the expensive jerseys. Nah, John, I hope you enjoyed your holiday, mate. But you're right. As I've got a wee grandson on his way, or on its way soon. It might be a wee girl. We don't know yet. But they'll be a blue nose, the same as wee Jackson. It's a way of life, as you said, mate.
Aye, that's it.
I'm saying on his way as if Wayne's walking up to the stairs up here.
Rangers Radio 8 PM. Aye, well, perfect timing then for those who are wanting.
We'll be finishing up 5 minutes, guys, and if you get a chance, please watch listen to Rangers Radio as well. We're good friends with them, and we'd like to send them our regards. We always do that every couple of weeks. Alex Kelly was on a minute ago. Alex Kelly's one of the pundits on it.
Aye, brilliant. I'll probably give a wee listen when I get home. If I get a wee chance, if it's still on by the time I get home. But aye, well, we'll spend a wee while.
Aye, so Rangers Livingston, 5 minutes. Rangers Livingston at the weekend, 3 o'clock kick-off. We need to win it. We need to win it first and foremost. And if we win it 1-0, who really cares? But I'd like to see a bit of class, and I'd like to see goals.
What's your thought on the game? Do you think this game takes care of itself, or do you think it's going to be a hard game?
I thought David Martindale, when he was a manager, always gave us a hard game. It's Martin Bartley. Marvin Bartley.
Aye, Marvin Bartley's the manager.
And they're struggling. And they're struggling a wee bit. There is no reason why Rangers can't go there and win comfortably. But that doesn't mean we will, but there is no reason why we shouldn't be fearing them.
I think it looks near enough set that Livingston will end up getting relegated, which I think it's a shame to see. I mean, Livingston are a bit of an up and coming team in Scotland. I mean, they're never known to be great, but a good few years ago they got promoted, and they made a name of themselves. They were performing against the likes of Rangers.
They're a family orientated club who are well run.
Aye,
but they're not strong enough. They're not strong enough to compete this season, and Rangers should be looking to really get a turn on them goals. There's a chance, right? I'm not saying it's going to harm, but because of how well Rangers have played under Danny Rowe, there's a chance that we'll be top of the league on Sunday night. And if no, it could come very soon. We really don't know. So get the goals in and get the feel-good factor going. And the Bears will be every stand. And Livingston will have Rangers supporters in at the weekend. That's a big thing. The support, win, lose or draw, never let us down.
As most players say, Rangers or Celtic, go to Livingston, it's like a home game because three out of 4 stands are filled with your own fans.
Aye, it'll be a good day out. And that feel-good factor, see when, because we will go top of the league at some point, I'm convinced of that, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And when it does, that feel-good factor will just get even higher. See this moaning face bastard here? That might disappear for a few months, because see when the Rangers are on the Rangers dictate my mood. When the Rangers are on a high,
because win the league, you still wouldn't be happy, say.
No, the Rangers are on a high, I'm on a high. Big Boffy's been giving his whiskey. I've got the whiskey for the tan. We've got the bottles of champagne.
That's not like him. Usually keeps it for himself.
No, he's always very generous. And we've got our bar in the GRS TV studio, and we're also going to look at hosting a fans forum in the next 2 weeks. I need to work on that tonight. So there's loads happening with the channel. The fans are all on board. Stick together is a big thing for me. Stick together. Don't be fighting each other on Rangers pages. Don't be bad-mouthing other Rangers channels. If you don't like another Rangers channel or platform, quite simple, don't watch it, but give them all your support and backing, because together we are the people.
We are. That's it.
Yeah, I think that'll do us for tonight. Any comments that I've missed out on? Players are playing for an all-film selection. I don't think they'll change the team much, to be honest.
We need to get a game at a time. Obviously, I think if we get a strong result, we'll prepare ourselves very well for the Old Firm. But
I don't know what the update is on Connor Barron, but if he's fit,
I don't think he's back until
March.
I think it is March. Obviously, the Old Firm game's the 1st of March. Then obviously a week after.
So he'll be back for the split. Aye, that I would say.
100% he'll be back for the split. I think he'll be back for around the middle or end of March. But I mean, obviously, remember with Derek Cornelius, he got injured at the start of December. Folk all said he'd be back at end of December, start of January at the very latest, and we've still not seen that Pete film. So,
yeah, I really don't know what's going on there. Linda, are you coming on to say hello before we finish?
No, right.
You make your debut next week. Right, you heard that?
Shite back.
She's making her debut next week, so we'll have Linda. So we're going to get a bit of talent on the show instead of us two every week. And
what are you trying to say about me?
I was meaning Gordy. No, listen, we're just trying to make to chop and change it a wee bit every week. Keep it fresh, keep it good, and keep it positive. That's a big thing for me. Also, the Rangers supporters bars, mentioned the ERSA convention. Get involved with ERSA. ORSA convention's just currently taking place just now in Adelaide, and the NASA convention takes place later on in the year in Nashville. Support the Rangers bars. If there's a Rangers bar anywhere in the world near you or a supporters club, give them some support, because if we don't use them, we will lose them.
Aye. And I think when you're talking about the NASA convention, I think I'm right in saying that the actual convention date is 2 days before the World Cup starts for Scotland.
It's soon about the same time.
I think it's just before. I think it's 2 days before the Scotland Haiti game. So if you're travelling over to America for the World Cup, make your way to Nashville. See the boys.
If jet lag doesn't put you to sleep, Scotland will. All the best, guys. Have a good night. Thank you very much for everybody that watched. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Linda. And thanks to Lily for no jumping on the stage. Right.
Thanks most importantly for those who've watched tonight. Obviously, the comments coming in are fantastic. It's good to see. I'm sure we'll get even more later on, which we'll have a wee look at. So,
and just lastly, there's a wee
fantastic.
scroll there. We've got a Patreon page. We're just trying to get the studio upgraded a wee bit more so that fans can come here and enjoy it free of charge. So if you could support us there, that would be fantastic for the price of a coffee.
Aye, brilliant.
Depends what you buy your coffee for, right enough. I've been buying it at Lidl, right enough, so you can... Right, guys, good night.
We are the people.
We are the people.